Hey, welcome back to another one of my jazz piano tutorials. It's Paul Tobey here from Jazzmentl. We are working on the tune Santa Claus is Coming to Town. This might sound kind of hokey, but if you stick around to the end, you'll hear the entire recording. And lots of people have commented on this particular recording. They love it. And so if you stick around to then, you'll get to hear it. But what I want to do now is show you how to solo, because in the recording, I do a solo on this tune as a slow ballad. And there are definitely some things that you can learn from that recording. And I'm going to share some of them with you right now. Now, if you take a look at the first two bars of this tune, obviously you recognize the melody. And when it comes to soloing, obviously you want to stretch your imagination a little bit. So think about the first chord as a B flat major 7, simply as a scale. Think of it like a B flat scale, because it's the root of the chord. So if you're thinking, okay, what do I do with every time the root of the key of the tune comes in, which is B flat? So you can play pretty much any note there you want in any order, and it's going to sound actually pretty good. But then when you get to the B diminished 7th chord, what you have to think of this like a G7 flat 9. Why? Because this would typically be 1, 6, 2, 5 of the key. And these chords are tritone. These chords are substitutions for those chords. Because if you're looking at a G7 chord, this is 3, 5, 7, and flat 9 of G7, which is B diminished 7th. That's how to think of it like that. You can't really try to think of it in terms of like B diminished. You have to think about it, well, what chord does that actually represent? And the answer is 3, 5, 7, and flat 9 of a G7 chord. And that's how advanced players think. They never think in small terms like, well, what is the current chord? They're constantly thinking about, well, what is that chord in relationship to the chords around it? And in this case, it's 6. So what you want to do with that is you want to play 3, 5, 7, flat 9. You want to spell that chord. So it's B natural, D, F, and A flat, just like that. And the reason why you want to do that is because then you can put some passing notes in there to get to the next chord, which sounds really good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. And whatever the notes are in terms of like the rhythm, you can kind of figure that out on your own, but something like that, right? And you can spell the C minor 7th chord if you wanted to, which is E flat, G, B flat, and D. That's 3, 5, 7, and 9. And then spell the D flat diminished chord, which is literally like a G7 flat 9 chord. So you want to spell something like that. And then it goes to F minor, I believe. So whatever the next chord is. So think about the D flat diminished 7th chord, like E. This is the second inversion. So E natural, G, B flat, and D flat, like that. So as a player, you're thinking, how do I bridge the spelling of the chords? And you use passing notes. Okay? And that's how to think as a player. Thinking about spelling the chords, but also how do I get to the next chord? And you're using passing notes from the key of the moment. Let's go back to the tune here, scroll down a bit, and we get to the next section. So we're going to D minor. I think a good use of the D minor chord here would just be, you could think about it like the scale. So let's do bebop scale. So D, E, F, F sharp, G, A, B natural, and maybe B flat. It really depends on how it sounds. So if we go from the beginning again. Yeah, so I think B flat sounds a little bit better in that context. So that's fine. So there's a cool scale there. And then when we get to the F minor to B flat 7, this is just a 2-5 of E flat. 2-5-1 of E flat. So let's just erase a few of these notes, and you can just play them back in the recording if you want to know what that scale is. And then if you're doing a 2-5 of E flat, think of it in terms of Stitz bits. I'm going to post a link up here in the corner to a couple videos, well, to one video on Stitz bits, which talks a lot about, well, how Sonny Stitt would handle a 2-5. And in this particular case, you want to spell the chord or spell both of those chords. So never get too far in jazz from spelling of the chord unless it's modal, because that's what really helps it get that sort of really nice flavor to it. I think a lot of people, when they listen to me solo, they're like, well, how do I play nice melodies like you? And the answer is, it comes right out of the chords themselves. Okay, so think about maybe stepping into the F minor chord by using a passing note, which is like G, and then play your F minor chord like this. So you've got like, 16ths. And then go with the scale. We're getting to E flat major 7. So again, just like the D minor 7th chord over here, think about that maybe in terms of the scale. So we got E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat. Let's go B natural, which is the bebop scale, C, and D. So something like that. And any combination of those notes. So from the F minor chord. Okay. Then when we get to the A flat 13 chord, we've got a couple of surprises in store for you for that. Then we've got this whole list of chords with one chord per beat, which you're going to want to know how to deal with, and we're going to get to that in the next video. Let me play the tune for you through now. I'm going to play a chorus of melody, then a chorus of solo. You get to see how I'm kind of thinking about the soloing and applying these strategies to soloing. So stick around to the end to hear the whole recording. People are commenting on it on other videos, and they really like the recording. So at least if that's the only thing you want to do, just check that recording out, because it's kind of fun to hear, Santa Claus is Coming to Tune as a jazz ballad with bass and drums. Kind of cool. All right, if you like this video, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to hearing your comments and suggestions in the comment section below. Thanks for your time.